Hey everyone, Tofu here, and welcome to potentially the finale of Danganronpa Another. We are at the halfway point of the Chapter 6 final class trial, so, obviously, as I say every time, spoilers ahead. If you are not caught up with all the other episodes so far, make sure you do that before getting to this point, because we've kind of already figured out how everything happened, but now I'm guessing we're going to figure out kind of why everything actually happened, and considering that this is only the halfway point, I have a feeling that things are about to get pretty darn crazy, and I don't know what to expect at all. But yeah, let's just do it. Let's resume the final class trial, see what the hell is going on now, because we've pretty much... Whoa! Jesus Christ, man, don't jump scare me right off the bat. Why did the screen break? What? Why is... Yuki, are you okay? What's going on? I'm okay. My head hurts a little bit. But you've been staggering and sweating and panting since before. Can you hold out? Even if you can't hold out, clench your teeth and butter up. It's a class trial. It is also the final class trial that reveals all the truths. I know it's hard, but try to keep up. Once it's over, I'll take care of you or whatever. Aw, she has such a way with words. I'll do my best. Now, you've been laughing like a lunatic for a while. How about it? How about it? I'll correct, of course. In the first place, I questioned and you answered immediately, so there's no need to organize it like that, but Maeda-sama was pretty much spot on. It was correct? So is it all over now? We found out the whole truth, and you promised to let us go, right? Nope. What? You're changing your story.
What Miss Tyra wants to say is this. The whole truth has not been found yet.
Huh? But... we figured out why we were stuck here. Really? Then why did I sneak into the lab with all of you, and the lab was converted into a school, and for what purpose did we play a killing game, Otori-sama? If you know everything, you will answer, right? That's it. So far, we haven't even started the game we seek yet. This is a prologue. The circumstances that brought you all here, and what we need to uncover from now on, is the truth after this. Indeed, something happened that forced you to evacuate this lab. What happened to force you to live in a murder game? Shall we find out about this? But I don't know anything about this. It's been so difficult up to this point. Do we need to do more? Well, actually, those things have nothing to do with you. You don't need to know. No, there are truths that might be better to not know. Pooh, what are you going to do? If you really want to, I can assume you won at this point and let things go.
Seriously?
Sure, I said it again and again, but it has nothing to do with you guys, and this is just my personal entertainment. But you are never going to quit here, right? No one's saying anything.
Guys, why are you so discouraged? They just admitted defeat there. What if we make a mistake while continuing the trial for no reason? No matter what anyone says, isn't your life the most important thing? Let's just stop here and go outside, so we can all live together.
Teruya, do you really like this? Without knowing anything like this, without knowing why your friends had to die. Is it so good to get out without knowing why Haruhiko and Satsuki had to save us at the expense of their lives? Yeah, you tell them. They didn't die for this shit. Just as Maeda said, I can't just come here and give up. I'll never give up until I find the whole truth.
I know, but if it goes beyond this and it becomes irreversible, if we die too, wouldn't it be hard to see the faces of those who died?
Don't worry, Teruya. That will never happen. I won't let it happen.
Kinjo.
I already put all the clues in hand. If we think based on the clues, the truth will 100% come out. So don't worry, let's defeat the mastermind completely and escape together.
For the first time since the death of Maki and Higa, Kinjo starts to look trustworthy again.
I'm really not. Oh, damn. Then I can say that everyone has hardened their minds, right? Please discuss the reason why you evacuated to this building.
Okay, let's believe and keep going. I also want to know the truth. Still, I can't even say what I want to say with my voice. I'm just an idiot. I found clues on the open places, but I don't know what those even mean at all. There's no need to say it, because everyone knows you. Aw. Taria, it's not like that. Even if we don't get new clues, we might already know the reason. For real, you know it? It was because of a huge event that we had to take refuge on such a remote island. I've been bothered before about the new places, such as the headmaster's office and the information processing room, and what was found on the 5th floor. So is this referring to... Well, wait a minute. Is this referring to the student council killing game, or the biggest, most awful, most tragic event? I don't know which one we actually had to evacuate for. I thought it was the first one, but now I'm unsure. Also, he's saying something we found on the 5th floor. And we didn't find that on the 5th floor, right? We found that on... We found that on the 4th floor. What did we find on the 5th floor? We just found the outside, right? We didn't really find shit on the 5th floor. This is all 4th floor stuff. Right? I'm pretty sure. I think it was this. No. Okay, so it's the bigger incident. For some reason, I thought they said that Kisaragi found out about the student council killing game, and that's why he evacuated us. Okay, I guess it was this one. Might be. The biggest and most desperate event in human history. You guys remember, right? Oh, maybe it's what you and Akane discovered when the 5th floor opened. That's right. There were scraps of newspaper articles. At the time, I was skeptical because it all seemed dubious. This is an absurdly large-scale incident. Wouldn't it be a valid reason for us to avoid it in order to stay on this laboratory on a remote island? Definitely. The computers in the electrical room had more detailed information about this. It said that the incident began from a demonstration at the Hope Peak Academy Preparatory Department, who were outraged by the incident. If it's the preparatory department, that's it. They weren't talented students like us who were scouted, but ordinary students who paid a huge amount of money fee for admission. Yes, I don't know if it was jealousy for talent, or the main department ignored them, but there was always a fight between them. This too must have spurred their uprising. Wait, but doesn't that mean the students' demo was on the verge of the world's doom? That's a bit strange. Even a large-scale terrorist group made up of adults can't destroy the world, no matter how many students at Hope Peak Academy there were. How can a single high school student drive the world into a major crisis? Of course, it sounds like an impossible story. Honestly, I can't believe it either. But it has actually become true. According to a certain group consisting of students from Hope Peak Academy. Ultimate despair. Yep. That group is... Hey, bestie. The name of that organization is Ultimate Despair. Ultimate Despair? Isn't that what Akane mentioned? That's right. The group is led by a student named Junko Enoshima, the worst criminal group in all history, united as a central figure. Junko Enoshima has connections of high-status people who influence the world's situation, including the Toa group mentioned earlier. That's why the biggest and most desperate event in human history happened. Not just the power of a high school student, but because high-ranking status people from various fields lent Junko Enoshima's power. But why did these high-ranking people lend their power to a single high school girl? Even worse, for a high school girl whose goal was to destroy the entire world. That's because Enoshima-sama has an irresistible charisma that cannot be denied. I noticed something here. I don't know if this is intentional or not, or it's just what they just decided to do randomly for the translation, but Akane... Oh, well, I guess it's not entirely true, right? Because she made a big deal about wanting to refer people to people by their first names, right? Like, she wanted to call Makaru Rai-chan for a while. But she called us Maeda-kun. But she's calling Junko Enoshima-sama. I wonder if that means, or maybe I could be reading way too deep into this, right? And I think I am, because she didn't call Tsurugi Tsurugi-kun, she called him Kinjo-kun.
And a Tori. Yeah, I don't know what... Never mind, I don't know where I was going with that. She's kind of inconsistent with whether or not she wants to call people by first name or last name. But I don't know. I was thinking, like, does Junko still have power over her? Right? And in a sense, if that's the reasoning there, does Yuki have power over her that he doesn't know yet, and that's why she calls him by his last name? I don't know. I don't know anymore. That's because Enoshima-sama has an irresistible charisma that cannot be denied. It's crazy. I've thought since I was a kid that the world was crazy, but this is a crazy beyond my imagination. Crazy. I was crazy. Wait, didn't Akane tell us that she was the ultimate despair? It's a group? Ultimate despair is also a term that refers to a group and its members. I am Akane Taira, a member of the Ultimate Despair, and I am an Ultimate Despair student. Well, actually, I'm a bit different from the other members. They only act as a principle and purpose of encroaching on the world with despair. But apart from that, I am fascinated by them and follow them. Them? The Ultimate Despair group said that they worship Juko Enoshima like a queen, and believe in them fanatically. I can only imagine. For whatever reason, the group committed acts of terrorism against the world. The members deserve to be caught and put under the mace of the law. My apologies, but the law itself is not capable of functioning anymore. Anyway, with the biggest and most desperate event in human history, we evacuated to this research laboratory, right? As you said, we avoided the worst of the incident. Didn't we? Then why? Of course, if we had been there, we wouldn't have arrived here. But as I mentioned, a member of the Ultimate Despair already existed in our own group. It's moi. Then there is some purpose for that girl to erase our memories and make us live in a murder school. The question is, what is the purpose? Before we talk about that, we need to first check our basis. Guys, do you remember what happened when we entered the school? We lost our memories after entering the school, so if it was just before that, everyone will remember it. When we got to the school, right? Due to the school's circumstances, the entrance ceremony was held earlier than usual. Yes, our 79th class at Hope Peak Academy were no different from the 78th class in front of us in terms of years. Well, that's a fact that I know, but why are we talking about that all of a sudden? Weren't we talking about why the Ultimate Despair erased our memories and forced us to live in a murder school? Hey, you're ready to talk about a really useless topic. Wait, the fact that our admission deadline has been advanced may have a lot to do with our current situation. Our admission may be related to our situation. If that's the case... No, well, I think it really is. The difference between the 78th class and the 79th class mentioned by Makaru, if we think about it... Spinny time. Okay, is this just about that, like, we were moved ahead because of the student council killing game? I think that may be it. Well, this is the right bullet. Are you saying that our early admission has something to do with our situation? Yes, is it not strange at first? Why advance the admission time for us? Okay, well, I think this is what I gotta shoot. Indeed, if you think about the relation between the information gathered, the answer lies there. This is going really fast, by the way. But keep between you two, let me know too. Just think about it. Why did the school break their own law just to accept new students in a hurry? Did any emergency happen? Oh, shit, it could be that too. It could be either of those things, I feel like. Was there something urgent enough to push the admission? Yeah, I know what it is. So look at Kurikawa's portrait. It's got, I think that's Japanese on it. I don't know what that says, though. I think we have to agree with him and talk about the emergency here. Yippee! Also, thank you for the coin, Satsuki. I miss you. Okay. Teruya, that's it. And what's it? You said there must have been an emergency. When I heard that, I remembered it. Oh, right. Yes. Okay, I got confused because, the student council killing game is why the 79th class was pushed ahead and the tragedy is why they were evacuated. I got those mixed up. You said there must have been an emergency. When I heard that, I remembered it. The clue I saw on the computer in the electrical room. Just before we entered the school. What happened at... What the fuck? Cape Hope Academy? What the fuck is Cape Hope Academy? Cape Hope Academy? About that event. That's a weird... Is that a typo? That's a weird typo. That incident was also the start of the biggest and most desperate event in human history. It was also the cause of the preliminary demonstration that we spoke about earlier. Because of this incident, our admission was rushed. It was to cover up this incident by accepting new students and attracting more. According to the information on the computer, it was stated that way. That incident is... this one. That's the time where we use it. The name of this case was the biggest and most desperate event in the history of Hope Peak Academy, right? What? Another desperate event? There were many desperate events? Few people know about this incident. Unlike the biggest and most desperate event in human history, Hope Peak Academy thoroughly covered it up. Covered it up? You mean the reason our admission was adjusted was to cover up that big incident? Of course, it wasn't such a simple incident that it was hidden by our admission alone, so other measures must have been taken. But what is certain is that our admission was part of the cover-up. The details of that case are unknown, but it is said that Izuru Kamakura, a student of Hope Peak Academy, brutally killed 13 council members. Kamakura? Who's that? Izuru Kamakura was the ultimate hope called by Hope Peak Academy. They created an artificial genius. The ultimate goal of Hope Peak Academy was to create artificial talent, and the whole experiment is the existence of a student named Izuru Kamakura. It was studying the talents of students at Hope Peak Academy to create a human being with all kinds of talent. This incident is very top secret, so it must have been a fact that no one other than the persons involved knew about it. Wait, it is surprising that Hope Peak Academy was founded with such a purpose. But why do you guys know about this super secret? Did you investigate it all? Just shut up already. Oh, everyone got it as a clue? I guess I forgot. Still, why did that student chosen as Ultimate Hope kill 13 people? Well, we don't know that. One thing is for certain, as stated in the clue, Izuru Kamakura was a failure. Before we entered the school, the Academy noticed Kamakura's failure and may have rushed our admissions to make up for it. Still, this may be a bit of a guess. Does that mean they were going to further study the talents of the 16 of us to create a more perfect Ultimate Hope? Well, that's not a bad guess. I'm also a 79th student like you, so I can't fully know, but the possibility exists. But the biggest reason for failure of the Izuru Kamakura project was, ironically, that he was too perfect. With all the talents, he fell into despair even more easily because everything went according to his way. That's what he said, but I don't know. Because he had all the talents, everything went the way he wanted. That may sound like an all-rounder at first glance, but if things really go the way you wish... Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's happening? What the hell is this headache that it feels like it's splitting my head? Why is my head hurting so much? Izuru Kamakura doesn't matter anyway. That part is already over. The important thing is that the incident is closely related to our situation. Right, that's the important thing. What's the relationship between the biggest and most desperate event in the history of Hope Peak and us? Although very few people know about the incident itself, only a small few know the true truth of that case. And one of them was Kisaragi. I didn't listen in close detail, but after arriving at this lab, he spoke to me for a few moments. Did I explain that the biggest and most desperate event in human history was caused by a group called Ultimate Despair? And that the head of the group was a crazy girl named Junko Enoshima? In fact, that incident that Kamakura caused was also orchestrated by Junko Enoshima. That means the culprits of the biggest and most desperate event in human history and of Hope's Peak are both Junko Enoshima? Yes, it seems that Junko Enoshima imprisoned 14 students at the time, the Ultimate Hope, Izuru Kamakura in a secret room, and then forced them to a situation where only one can survive by killing. As a result, Izuru Kamakura murdered all 13 people except for one student council president and went on hiatus. The school tried to cover up this shocking fact. However,
Junko and Oshima spread rumors about the massacre of Izuru Kamakura among the students, knowingly and unknowingly, and when the students of the preparatory department heard the rumors and learned the truth, an explosive uprising broke out. This was the process of transformation of the biggest and most desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak Academy into the biggest and most desperate event in human history. Isn't there a part of what I said right now that makes you uncomfortable? A part that doesn't feel right. We know that the story was spread by Junko and Oshima, but a story before this comes to my mind. A situation where you have to kill to survive. Is this the part that doesn't fit? What was this? Among the clues I gathered, there were clues suggesting a situation similar to this. Are they talking about this? Yes, okay. A situation where you can only get out by killing. Doesn't this sound like a dreadful feeling we know? Indeed. Junko and Oshima provided an environment in which murder must occur for Kamakura and the members of the student council, as if trying to make an experiment. Among them, there was even a harsh rule of if there is no murder within the time limit, everyone will die. That's like...
There's only one thing I'm going to tell you from now on. This ballroom is locked and it's impossible to get out. Meaning you guys have to kill someone.
You've heard it from somewhere, haven't you? That's right. I felt this was coming, but the story is connected only after we've come this far. The biggest and most desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak Academy is a story very similar to our current situation. You mean there were people who went through a similar situation before us? But why are you doing the same thing over and over again? It doesn't make sense. According to the clues in the electrical room computers, Junko and Oshima devised some kind of plan in order to plunge the world into despair after the biggest and most desperate event in human history. That is the purpose of erasing the memories of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy, who are recorded as the only survivors from the biggest and most desperate event in human history, causing them to kill each other in a situation where they can't remember each other. It's a killing school life. They even record it live of the students killing each other all over the world at the same time. The students of Hope's Peak Academy are the symbol of hope to others. Seeing them slaughter each other must be so heartbreaking. Simultaneous live broadcast all over the world. I've done some embarrassing things. Hold on, I know this because I saw the electrical room too. At first glance, this seems to be talking about our current situation, but there's something strange about it. The strange part is simultaneous live broadcast erasing memories, only survivors 78th classroom. It's got to be 78th, right? Because we're 79th, and I think they are actually talking about the true 78th class. Yes, indeed. Wait a minute. There's something strange about that. We are the 79th classroom of Hope's Peak Academy, and we're still alive. The only surviving members being the 78th class. Isn't that odd? That's right. I thought Teruya was mistaken, so I was going to talk about it. The 79th? Wait a minute, we're the 79th? Then the 78th class was the target for the killing school life, huh? According to the data, all the students of Hope's Peak Academy died, except the 78th class due to the biggest and most desperate event in human history. What's with that? They're treating us like we are dead people? Yeah, it's strange. It's not only that we were treated as dead, but it is also strange that we went through a killing school life the 78th was supposed to. There were no clues about it either. What's the connection between us and the 78th class? Pooh! Everyone is slowly starting to get confused. Should I help you? Let me give you one hint. As Atori-sama said, treated as dead people could be the cause of your situation. The fact that it was recorded as such means that no matter what we have done, it's officially as nothing happened. Why? Do you know what I mean? If you think about it backwards, it would be difficult to do this to someone who is officially recorded as alive. This mention also includes me. I am also in the 79th class, and it was reported that all the students who were not in the 78th were dead. What are you saying? Don't make things difficult. Are you thinking of scrambling our minds by saying a complicated story? No, hold on. It's definitely that woman, Akane Taira, who locked us up in the lab and made us play a murder game. She's a member of the Ultimate Despair, and we thought the situation we were in had something to do with the Ultimate Despair. But is it really? Regarding her killing school life, Junko and Oshima's grand plans were also covered. Did it really need to be carried out with a plan very similar to this, through people with records of being dead? What do you mean, Kinjo? I don't know how much the forces of the Ultimate Despair is, but since they're the ones who cause crimes on a world-class scale, and are currently active, I don't think they're small numbers at all. However, the most important plan that the leader of such an organization had planned, was it necessary for Akane Taira to carry it out alone? What? That means the culprit is someone other than Akane? It's not an unlikely story yet, but I wanted to tell you something else now. According to the data left behind, it is not us that Junko Enoshima picked as the targets of the plan, but the 78th class, and the records show that all but the 78th class died. Thinking back on Akane Taira's words a while ago, for them, students other than the 78th class don't exist. I have no idea what you're talking about. For whatever reason, it's true that we went through a murder class life, right? No, wait. Something came to mind when I heard what you said just now. According to Makaru's words now, wouldn't we be just like an insurance to the Ultimate Despair students? I have no idea why Junko Enoshima planned the 78th as the target, but if the goal was to kill the students of Hope's Peak Academy, which are the symbol of hope, I don't think it was necessarily limited to only the 78th class. There's a possibility that the plan has been changed, but there was no such input. Therefore, the killing school life for the 78th classroom murder remains the same, but we exist as a second plan just in case. I'm thinking maybe... Maeda did it for me and sorted it out well. A sub-plan is an insurance that is perfect even if you don't have it made. It will be enough if someone does this, and it's just an outsider from the standpoint of the Ultimate Despair. Yeah, and there was compelling evidence that Junko Enoshima personally entrusted some kind of mission. In other words, the mastermind of the incident we experienced is not an Ultimate Despair. They're an Ultimate Despair agent. Ultimate Despair external agents. There was clear information on the computers about them. External agents? What's that? Bro, did you not read at all? The Ultimate Despair are made up of only Hope's Peak Academy students, but it's said that among them there are people who lend power to the Ultimate Despair, so to speak, even though they are not students of Hope's Peak. Those are the Ultimate Despair agents. Yes, when you think about what we said earlier, that's the only thing that comes to mind. Wait a second, so what are we talking about? What's the matter with the agents outside of Hope's Peak Academy? To simply put it, the culprit responsible for imprisoning us and made us live this murder game was not an Ultimate Despair. The criminal, in other words, Akane Taira, was not an Ultimate Despair, but an Ultimate Despair external agent. Wait, isn't that strange? A person who is not a student of Hope's Peak Academy is an external agent of the Ultimate Despair? But if Akane was an Ultimate Despair, she was still in the same class as us, right? That's not necessarily the case. As written on the computer, there are outside agents who entered Hope's Peak Academy and are no longer an outside agent. And even the words that Junko Enoshima personally entrusted a special task to the outside agents, meaning the unique difference in this killing school life we experienced, it was commissioned by Junko Enoshima, and she put it into practice with the formerly Ultimate Despair and a member at present of the Ultimate Despair agents. Akane Taira, it was you. Huh? Did you notice my hint and remember the difference between the 78th class and the killing school life? Indeed, it was all of you. Wait a moment, can you tell me something I can't understand? I can understand that the killing school life was thought to be intended for us, even if we didn't want to. This means that the plans for the 78th class and what we went through were two separate things, and I can barely understand that a person who knew Junko Enoshima entrusted a task and was working with an outside agent being Akane. But in the end, I have no idea why. If the 78th class killing life was to put people into despair through a live broadcast, what is the meaning of our killing school life being treated as dead people? What is the reason for doing this again? Teruya, calm down. We don't even know that reason yet. What? You don't know? For now, there are two things to correct in your words. One is that the 78th class may not have gone through a killing school life yet, although I don't know what they're doing now. The clue about the killing school life said if this plan is carried out, it means that there's still time before it's implemented. But I can't be sure because I don't know the exact date from this. And secondly, the purpose of our killing school life can be guessed by considering the order of events. It's also a very likely guess. Whew, where should we begin? Think the answer you believe in. I hope you can give me a response that meets my expectations. Wait, I'll tell you. It doesn't matter who says it, because we are all probably thinking the same thing. It's verbose, but in the end, there must have been a purpose that made us experience a horrible killing school life. Let's summarize everything we have discussed so far. This killing school life is a plan that makes students of Hope's Peak Academy, the symbol of hope, kill each other, making the viewers feel utter despair. This has the characteristics that the culprit forced students to a situation where they can only live by killing, and it took place in an enclosed space. And there was one more characteristic of this person besides the original target, the 78th classroom and what we experienced, which is the biggest and most desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak Academy that we were talking about a while ago. Let's think. If I were the ultimate despair, Junko Anoshima's real purpose must have been the 78th class. Then why did it have to be repeated twice? As if this was a test. As if to see if there had been any mistakes. Kinjo mentioned something similar. I think I know now. Akane's purpose is to plunge the world into despair, a rehearsal of this plan to be noticed by Junko Enoshima. It's gotta be a rehearsal, right? The biggest and most desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak Academy happened before we entered the school. The biggest and most desperate event in human history happened a few months after we entered the school. Huh? That's true, but why are you suddenly talking about this? The biggest and most desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak Academy, the killing school life we experienced. And the killing school life aimed at the 78th class are all similar events. The order of the events is the event at Hope's Peak Academy, followed by us, and the days of the 78th classroom who are presumed to not be in the killing game yet. A while ago, when Kinjo was referring to the biggest and most desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak Academy, he said as if you were trying to do something. Yes, an experiment. The massacre of Izuru Kamakura and the killing school life we went through. Isn't this a rehearsal stage of the killing school life aimed at the 78th class? Pooh! Practice? A rehearsal? I have the same thoughts as Maeda. If you think about it that way, the front and back will match. Judging from what the data shows, a live broadcast of the killings must have been a very important plan. Because they were the kind of people who commit things on such a large scale, they must have prepared it thoroughly. In that sense, the incident that happened at Hope's Peak Academy, which forced a situation where you can only live by killing, it can be seen as the primary rehearsal ahead for this plan. Yeah, but as Maeda said, the incident happened before we even started school. Even if at this moment the killing school life of the 78th classroom hasn't started yet, the time period of this plan is too long. I see. That's why Yuki was talking in chronological order. The biggest and most desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak Academy is a rehearsal that came up as just a thought. As the implementation of this purpose approaches for the final adjustment, the experimental phase is necessary again. Right. Besides, when the Kamakura incident occurred, on the surface the world was still in good shape, so it would have been difficult to implement it on a large scale. Probably the only way to progress a killing class was under fairly simple circumstances. On the contrary, we don't need to pay attention to the public, as it is the biggest and most desperate event in human history. And on the record, we are treated as dead, and we were even students at Hope's Peak Academy. From the point of view of the mastermind, having no people as test subject was the ideal position for this experiment. That's what it was. The reason why the laboratory was remodeled like a school on purpose to make us believe that this is Hope's Peak Academy. Everything was done to create a setting that was as close to the original plan as possible. Pooh! Pooh! Ah! Seriously, you guys are talented. It would be a waste to use you as simple practice objects like this. It is as you guys say. All of this was just a test to execute the killing school life. The 78 school students are in perfect shape for Enoshima-sama's plan. You were all just peons in the end. What is this? For what the hell did we... The people who died, for what reason did they die like that? Don't be too sad. Anyway, all of you. No, we were all supposed to have died at the beginning of the most desperate event in the human history. We? Do you mean you too? Yes, didn't I tell you? Except for the 78th class, all the students of Hope's Peak died. In fact, about 2,000 students from the preparatory department who sympathized with Enoshima-sama did a mass suicide. More than 2,000. As far as I know, the total number of the preparatory department must be around that much, right? Yes. So all the students of the preparatory department committed suicide. It seems that a few Ultimate Despair members of the main department who are Enoshima-sama's closest aides are alive. Strictly speaking, I was just an Ultimate Despair external agent with an ultimate talent. In other words, the fact that we, the 79th class, were like dead water. We are still alive, and the reason we even tested this killing school life is probably because of a variable from Kisaragi-sama's sudden action. As you can see, from the notes I left as clues, he knew everything about us Ultimate Despair in advance. Because Kisaragi-sama took us out of Hope's Peak Academy, we are still alive. Then, you contacted Junko Enoshima, and then prepared to test murder school life using us, who became like surplus of manpower. That's it. To be honest, I don't think Enoshima-sama would be on the side of a crisis in a situation like this. I still can't help but to admire Enoshima-sama's ability to incorporate such a sudden event into part of her plan. These scumbags, this is too much. We were dead, only just peons. In the end, from start to finish, it was in the hands of Junko Enoshima, including Akane Taira, the mastermind of our case. I can't understand what makes humans fall so much. The behavior of these guys is far beyond common sense. Pooh. Now it's over. Either way, in the end, you failed. We four survived. Now that we know all the truth, we're going to get out of here and fight whoever made the world like this. First, as the law officer, I'll bury this guy in front of me.
Miss Tyra, isn't this a big deal?
Oh, don't worry. Is everyone still lively? Before that, I have one question for you. You gave us hints quite blatantly. It's like there's something open free about it. I mean, yeah, if it's the practice, that would make a bit of sense, huh? Pooh? Really? I've said it many times, but to tell you the truth is entertainment in itself. Isn't it enough to just have fun until the end? Shut up! What's so funny? Because of this useless fun, because of this crazy case, most of our lives were in vain. I will never forgive you! Well, great. Do whatever you like. Burn me alive if you want. That is, if you ever find out the last truth. Last truth? Haven't we already found out all the truth? It's gotta be about Yuki, isn't it? Now that we found out the truth, doesn't the trial end with our victory? Nope, there's still one more thing you don't know. The purpose of the new Killing School life. It is true that it is a test stage for the 78th class's murder game, but there is one more purpose other than that. You bitch. You don't want to admit defeat, so you're trying to pull something now? Could I? Think about it. What you don't know yet. I said that I was the mastermind. Another me with the stupid and bright character that was always with you, right? I could not control the situation behind the scenes because I had even erased my own memories. If there is no coordinator, the test or anything at all will not be established. So you're telling us to uncover that secret? Don't joke around. Even without you, Monokuma over there adjusted the situation. You have a point, so then who is the one controlling Monokuma-sama? That's...
Well, you don't have to think, because you don't know. That's right. This super sweet Monokuma-sama is a perfect and beautiful robot who is being controlled by someone.
The pure and innocent Akane who was with us could not control Monokuma. That is true. Then who the hell was Monokuma? Although Monokuma himself said it, but is that really the truth? Thinking back on the time of the investigation, I must have heard about Monokuma. Spinny time. So this is probably going to be about Operator Kuma, right? Or Utsuro, because we still haven't talked about him yet. That is a lot of truth bullets. Good thing I don't have to go through all of them. Yeah, okay, it's that. The one who controls Monokuma, there's no one controlling him. Do I just have to shoot it at that? That may be it. It's something one of us is doing now? That can't be it. There can't be a third party other than us, right? No more new characters. Huh. It's either the first thing that I have to disagree with, or I have to agree with Kenjo that there's a third party. And the third party is just Monokuma himself. The AI. The one who controls Monokuma, there's no one controlling him. Yep, okay, that was it. Thank you for the coin, Satsuki, by the way. Even though the coin's not going to do anything, but I'll keep it as a nice memento of you. No, Teruya, there's no one to control it. Huh? Didn't it say that once before? But then it's weird. It's like asking to guess someone who doesn't exist. No, she was rather aiming for that. By asking people to guess a person that doesn't exist, she was attempting to make us think on a wrong answer and thereby confuse us. I don't think anyone controls Monokuma either. I don't know if there were other people besides us, but no matter which way you look, it's a contradiction to say that there are people who control Monokuma. Yes, it spoke about it for a while, and Monokuma was being mentioned that it was a robot developed in Toa City. It was equipped with artificial intelligence. If it's the Toa Group technology, it's not unreasonable. Toa Group and the Kisaragi Foundation are mentioned to have already surpassed by far modern science in terms of technology. Hoo-hoo, isn't that a bit too fuzzy? Any solid evidence to back it up? If it's evidence, when I went to the IPR to investigate, Monokuma was sitting on a chair. When I made contact with that Monokuma, there was no reaction. Then another Monokuma came out and said, "This Monokuma is the Monokuma that controls Monokuma," it said. A Monokuma that controls Monokuma? Monokuma called that one Operator Kuma, which it's meant to be literal. Everyone would know if they saw the IPR, that there were a lot of unknown buttons along with the video from the surveillance cameras, right? I initially thought that the mastermind was in a room where they control Monokuma, but that was wrong. The one who controls Monokuma, it's only Monokuma. Operator Kuma wasn't talkative, like the Monokuma we're familiar with, and he didn't even speak in proper language in the first place. Monokuma thoroughly programmed to control only Monokuma. That is the identity of Operator Kuma. Earlier, Kinjo said that before we lost our memories, the Monokumas attacked the lab, and there were a lot of Monokumas in the back of the information processing room that for some reason didn't move. Yes, because Monokuma was a mass-produced robot. This guy who is full of smiles and laughs in front of us is special. I don't know why. Monokuma-sama, I ordered you to give them a hint, but wasn't it too much?
Huh? Is that right? Does it really matter? As long as Miss Tyra's purpose is accomplished, there is no problem.
Purpose? It's no big deal. Rather, what you said just now is the correct answer. You clearly understood that it was Monokuma-sama who controlled Monokuma-sama without getting caught in the trap I threw. But what does it matter to find out Monokuma's identity? In the end, it seems that the one in control of the killing school, was an AI, named Monokuma, but the purpose itself, that it was a test of the killing school life, did not change. No, it certainly has a different purpose other than the killing rehearsal. Monokuma-sama's true identity is a very important clue to solve this mystery. Damn it, only just like this. We need to figure out this. What was the purpose? Monokuma's identity serves another purpose. The first purpose is a test of this killing school life. If Monokuma's identity serves another purpose, was there a fact that we learned about Monokuma while investigation, or was there a fact that was close to that purpose? Yeah, another test. The nuance of experimenting with something clearly had a purpose, and to represent what it is... Wait, what? Another experiment. Oh, is this it? That the AI was not as good. Do they need to test it more? Is that what they want me to do? I don't know what else it could be. I don't think it's any of these notes, because it's got nothing to do with Kisaragi, right? That's got to be nothing. I don't think we do this now. Because this is like our trump card, right? I don't think it's time to pull that out yet. That's the only thing I can think of, is that the AI wasn't as good and they had to test it a bit more. That's the only thing I can think of. Nothing else makes sense to me, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, I guess that's it. Yippee! When I saw the video that appeared on the display in the IPR, wasn't there information from there about another purpose from you? Huh, that display on the ceiling. I did see a video coming out of there. Pooh! Really? Let's take a look at what Maeda-kun is going to say next, shall we? Monokuma is a robot created using Toa Group's high technology. We know this far, but it said one more piece of information on that display. It's the AI that I mentioned earlier. Actually, it's a fact that Monokuma has a program called Alter Ego created by the Ultimate Programmer, a student at Hope's Peak Academy. Alter ego. Another ego? I only knew it in theory, but when it reached that point, it would be a high-level, complete brain program that goes beyond simple artificial intelligence and can be regarded as a new person. Perhaps the reason why Monokuma here is rich in emotion and humorous, unlike the Monokumas who attack the research lab, or the operator Kuma who controls Monokumas, is because that only Monokuma is equipped with an alter ego?
Pooh!
Wait, unlike the previous trial, Monokuma is involved in this trial only with video sent on a screen, not directly from a body. We really didn't care at first, but if what Maeda said is true...
That's right! I expected that the topic of my identity would be discussed during the trial, so I participated in this trial in a rudimentary state.
What do you mean?
To put it simply, Monokuma-sama in that monitor is not being shown from another place, but it's really in that video. The video of Monokuma-sama's programmed data. In other words, that is the original Monokuma-sama's identity. I see. That's how it happened. For some reason, I thought it was too natural for being a simple AI. It must have been an alter ego. That's not all. In fact, I said that Monokuma's alter ego is not the original, but the clone of someone else's personality. Someone who is currently alive, and it was left until the end of the test stage. And I can guess from the fact that the word test is being filtered here, but the second purpose of the killing school life that Akane Taira said, that was a Monokuma alter ego testing. Wasn't this an experiment to confirm that the alter ego Monokuma would operate properly? Ugh. If that's true, then we were recorded as test subjects. They were trying to experiment with us. It didn't matter where we were. They were trying to test Monokuma's alter ego as an experiment in a killing school life. No, maybe that's the purpose of alter ego's tests. If there was an alter ego for a killing school life, it would already have been created. The biggest and desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak Academy. It is definitely strange to do two experiments in which a lot of effort would be wasted, no matter which order you do it. How about it, Akane Taira? This is the truth of everything we gathered. I expected it to a certain extent, but I'm sure it will all match without a doubt. Was it too much of a hint? No, it was like that on purpose. That means it's the correct answer? All we've said is the truth? That's right. Everything is correct. I gave you a lot of hints, but I didn't think you were able to figure out everything like this. You got all the unintentional information. Was this after all the result of Maeda-sama's luck? It's a rather scary and awe-inspiring power. What? Where should I begin? As I said, we were originally dead, and a situation like this was completely unexpected. This plan began when the unexpected happened that Kisaragi-sama was evacuating us. I consulted with them immediately and waited for instructions from the ultimate despair. Then Enoshima-sama made an improvisational plan, as if it wasn't for nothing. Which is what's left of the experimental stage, an alter ego test, which was duplicated from Enoshima-sama's personality. Enoshima? You mean that alter ego of Monokuma is the alter ego that cloned Juko Enoshima's personality? And what kind of girl was she? Because she was a high school girl who drove the world to destruction, she had such a personality? This killing school life was just a measure to determine and judge whether Monokuma-sama was capable to carry out her plan properly, as they are a clone of Enoshima-sama. In other words, our killing plan is a deteriorated version of the 78th killing school life, and Monokuma-sama, who led the main story of our killing school life, was the deteriorated version of Enoshima-sama, who will lead the 78th class's killing game. This murder game was just a means to see if the alter ego would function properly. The school? No, there were surveillance cameras all over the lab, right? The original plan was to use those cameras to broadcast live events around the world. In your case, is different. The video was meant to be sent to the information processing room, but it is also being sent to Enoshima-sama in another place elsewhere. Juko Enoshima has been observing everything we had been doing? We in the 78th classroom are different characters. You can't expect the same reaction because they had distinct personalities. But they tend to react the same to unexpected situations within the category of human. In addition to checking Monokuma-sama's normal operation, he was also sending a video as a feedback for the murder game. Because Monokuma was not a robot controlled by someone, but a person equipped with an alter ego, you could safely erase your own memories with confidence, even the mastermind. No matter what happens, Monokuma will take care of the plan, and he only needs to create an opportunity to recover their memories later.
First of all, from the time I lost my memory until I got it back, I wasn't the real me, and I don't know what I was thinking. Why don't you ask Monokuma-sama about what's next?
Huh? You ask Sleep and there's nothing more, right? This is really the end of our job.
Oh, are you okay with it? Now that the roll is over, Monokuma-sama will be disposed soon, right? Is it okay to stay quiet until the end? We lost anyway, so you can say whatever you want. Huh? I have no idea what you mean, but if all this was just an experiment, I have a question for you. Kisaragi and Kurikawa's memory erasure didn't work properly, right? Knowing that, why did you go along with this plan? Oh yeah, even if I knew it, that was something I couldn't have touched. Huh? As I have told you, all the plans had been done by Monokuma-sama. Because Monokuma-sama's experiment is more important than the killing class experiment. If he doesn't fulfill, then it becomes an issue. I can only guess what the main purpose of the alter egos function, only when Monokuma-sama, the coordinator of the students, who erases their memories and fills the number of people, must directly respond to all kinds of situations. Hey, Monokuma.
What should I say? At first we were going to go ahead with 16 people, including Kisaragi-kun. The 78th were of 16 students, so... However, as we proceeded with the plan, Kisaragi-kun's condition was strange. I only found out in the middle. Kisaragi-kun's memory was far from clear. So, I stopped the plan we had done, except for Kisaragi-kun. I then started all over again the entrance ceremony.
The entrance ceremony? That was when I introduced myself at the entrance hall, but Kisaragi was not there.
That's because I didn't have one amnesiac. Also because I had a hard time dealing with that machine. So if I erased their memory twice in a row, there's a chance the subject's memory could become a living mess. So I completely ripped out your memories, starting with I entered Hope's Academy. I don't know if you guys would remember, but if Kisaragi was not there at the time of the admission, wouldn't that cause an effect?
Wait, then Kurikawa. Kurikawa's memory was still intact, but she wasn't excluded from coming?
The time I realized that Miss Kurikawa's memories were vague was after a murder had already happened. Since someone had already died, it was impossible to erase and reset memories again. My mission is to bring a killing school life into perfect shape. A student with even a little bit of memory is the worst irregularity. That is why I tried to kill Miss Kurikawa as soon as possible.
You tried to kill Kurikawa? Monokuma-sama was developed by an ultimate class programmer. It boasts with a huge degree of completion, but unless they are a real human, there are limits. Monokuma-sama responded to the plan too programmatically. Even though this was an experiment, not the main stage, the work was carried out so perfectly that it felt hard to accomplish, without any degree of flexibility.
Unlike Kisaragi-kun, who actively appealed to him that his memories remain even if his personality was blown away, Miss Kurikawa's memory storage side effects were not so threatening. Even if she tried to express it with word or actions, an immense pain would suppress it. So at the beginning, I thought it wouldn't matter, but as time went on, Miss Kurikawa continued to put pressure on me. To quickly rule her out, I kept holding her in check. After the ballroom incident, the number of students decreased, and the plan became somewhat successful. So I decided to eliminate Miss Kurikawa without further delay.
How could you? What did Mikaru-sama ask the most? The identity of Kisaragi-sama's murderer.
I'm glad I didn't kill Kisaragi-kun and lock him up somewhere else. I released Kisaragi-kun, gave a commotion to Kurikawa-san, and after killing Kisaragi-kun, I overturned the charges against her and tried to execute her.
I told you, didn't I? The culprit in the last incident was Monokuma-sama. You broke even the rules you set.
That's not right. As I said before, it was Miss Kurikawa who installed the storage device, so there's nothing wrong saying that Miss Kurikawa is the culprit.
If I had directed the plan myself, or if Monokuma-sama was more human, I might have left Kisaragi-sama and Kurikawa-sama alone. But never mind, it already happened. This was just an experiment from the get-go. Experiment? In the end, we were destined to play in the hands of these guys anyway. This is the truth. There was no noble reason. It wasn't even that there would be a grand ending. We were just desperate. We wanted the truth so damn much. What were our sacrifices for? For what purpose did we pursue the truth? Did we have to kill each other to know this futile and cruel truth? Damn. That's fucked up. Congratulations. The game is cleared. It's your victory. Whew. Our victory. It doesn't feel like one. In fact, there were a few truths that we found out on our own, and we were given enough clues. The truth we found out in that way was that we were nothing more than the subjects of experiments for unrelated people. The 78th class. Because of that fact, we won the trial. Our fighting spirit has disappeared. Even if we won, it doesn't seem like we did. What is this? In the end, the deaths of our friends were nothing more than dog deaths, and even if we survived, nothing changes. You played with us as we had nothing to win. I can feel the displeasure that this victory was deliberately given away. What's the purpose in the end? Are you letting us go like this? What's with that expression on your face? You've already plunged us into despair, and now you're angry with your defeat? Was it not enough? What? I can't say it openly in front of you. Memories don't come back that way. One way or the other, it was designed so that you could approach the truth yourself directly. But why? Why? Still why? What's going on? Why is she like that? Why is she screaming? You are not coming back? Is she talking about Yuki? What the hell? Akane? This is unfair. I hate that face that you don't remember anything about me at all. That's why we've come this far. If I disappear like this, you should look out for me. Oh, what's going on? Hey, what kind of bullshit are you saying? Stop screaming and get ready to let us out. We're going out? We're going out. How long are you going to keep us here? I know it's hopelessly useless, and I don't want to, but we won anyway. We're going to survive. Yeah, the main thing is that our lives are safe. Let's put our troubled hearts for later, and get the heck away from this horrible place. Don't joke around. Where do you think you're going? What? We won. We found out all the truth. Akane, you lost the fight against us. Didn't you say that if we win, you'll let us get out safely? Now hurry up. Come on. Yeah, it's not that there's hope yet. Either way, I've pushed it up until here, so all that's left is to rely on their ability. Just moments ago, this person looked nothing like the Akane Taira I knew. The mood is completely different. I can even feel her despair. Why is she doing that? And apart from that, the more I see Akane Taira like that, the more my head hurts. Yeah, it is your victory. I will guarantee your life, but one last thing. One more thing, please. I'll ask the last piece of the real truth. I don't know what's more to say. Do we need to proceed with the trial beyond this? Are you truly satisfied with this truth? The basis of this was designed this way. Didn't you notice what the clues were pointing to? If you don't find the truth, everything becomes meaningless. I left a lot of clues and hints to hear that answer. What truth are you babbling about? We already figured out everything. That's right. Why are you so jumpy all of a sudden? It's pathetic. To be content with finding a plan that's nothing more than an experiment? If I tell you any more direct clues than this, it may become irreversible. Great. Now I can't help it. I'll give you a few more hints. If you listen to what I'm going to say from now on, you'll know why you're missing a very peculiar thing. What? Are you saying we missed something? We should have found out all the truth. Akane Taira admitted it. But why is she acting like this? One is Kisaragi's note in the back room of the library. It's them. Those guys are suspicious. Second is a clue related to an Ultimate Despair external agent. There are people who were external agents, but after entering Hope's Peak Academy, they were no longer external agents. Juko and Oshima entrusted them with a special mission. Third is the bundle of notes from Kisaragi-sama in the headmaster's office. I thought it would be fine to deal with them in advance, but Mikako says we should trust them more. Huh? What do they mean? This cannot be. No, it can't be. I see now. It wasn't an unfamiliar act. We've already talked about this possibility a few times now. When Akane Taira regained her memories, the truth being revealed, and we just naturally forgot. Then the truth she wants to tell us is the mastermind is the Kisaragi's, the mastermind is a third party, the mastermind is not alone. It's either third party or not alone. Not alone makes more sense to me, because with what we know Akane has done, she has to be at least considered a mastermind, right? Okay, yeah. That makes sense to me. No way. No, don't tell me. There's more than one? Those guys. Those who are no longer outside agents. They were entrusted on a mission. It refers to multiple people, not Akane Taira alone. That means the mastermind is not only Akane Taira. This is not possible. That's it, that's it. That's the truth I wanted so much. You have to learn this truth and move on. By all means, do try. Oh, wait, what are you saying? There's another mastermind? What a joke. It's not a joke? It wasn't surprising, because we've already discussed the possibility that there is more than one mastermind. That clue appeared to us before, and we became oblivious to that fact. In conclusion, it's quite possible. No, looking at the clues, it's highly likely to be true. Damn it! Why did they overlook this important fact? No, it can't be. It was obviously Akane Taira that knocked us out, and the others were together when the lab was attacked. Did Kenjo-sama see that in person? What? The only fact that Kenjo-sama saw was that Akane Taira, who was hiding behind you, attacked as an ultimate despair. In that panic attack, Kenjo-sama didn't see any of his friends other than me. Am I wrong? Ugh. That's because the mastermind that Kenjo saw was me. Elsewhere, my colleague. That person was attacking the students. Haha. That person. The person you're talking about. Don't you mean Enoshima? No. Why is people like Makaru-sama like that? I never told you that Enoshima-sama was with me. Because when I referred to Enoshima-sama, I was calling Enoshima-sama's name. Who is it? Who is that person? No, it doesn't matter. That's right, Monokuma. No, it was another member of the Ultimate Despair that was helping outside. That's gotta be. You are escaping reality now. The people in the laboratory are the 79th class students of Hope's Peak Academy, and one program called Monokuma-sama. There are no other people other than us. Didn't I tell you? Meaning they are one of the 16 students from the 79th class. It's also a fact that it's one of the people here. This is the truth that I really wanted. Mwahaha.
Stop it! Stop it right the fuck now, dude. You can't do this to me right now. At this point, with no other words,
You're pulling my leg. You're yanking my chain. Among Us. Another mastermind. Looking at the situation so far, and seeing that there's a mastermind in the shadows, and there's only one possibility left. Akane Taira, just like you. They erased the memories that they were the mastermind. That's correct. It was them who suggested that we erase the memories of us, who were originally the masterminds. I was just following orders. No, it can't be. There's another mastermind among us. There's no way that's true. Yeah, the mastermind is Maki, or Higa. Tamori, Hatano, Yamaguchi, and Nori, Yuhara, maybe Kobushikawa or Irinami. They must have already died. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Even if you erase your own memories, you could die from the plan you devised as the mastermind, right? No, you're more likely to die. In fact, out of the 16 people, only 5 of us survived. Heh, there's definitely something wrong with that statement. I'm so shocked to even hear your suggestion. But what if they did die? After all, we are already considered dead. If that person could sacrifice his plan for Enoshima's plan, they would be willing to give up their lives. Crazy bastards. You guys are really insane. Well, I was just talking about possibilities. The reasons they erased their own memory, despite such risk, is because they were confident that they and I would never die in a murder game.
Why?
There was no particular reason. That's their ability.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was coming, but it makes sense. Huh? Ah!
And we're actually like this. Me and them survived, and we are in this place right now, aren't we? There's no way I'll ever forget his face. He's clearly the true mastermind of this place.
No, you can't. Don't be fooled, everyone. They're trying to alienate us so we don't get out of here together.
No, this is the truth. The final truth. Because this is the last truth that awaits you. The truth was harsh. More despair comes over than that we were ever experimental body bags. In the end, it was impossible for the four of us to escape together as we had promised. One of us must be the other mastermind. The cruel truth that awaits us. So, who is it that you're speaking about?
Makaru.
Don't look at me like that. We can't help it. This is the truth. I've been keeping this possibility in mind for a long time, so I know this isn't just bullshit.
So what if we find out who the mastermind is? We promised to leave together. Sometimes there are truths we shouldn't know.
Then what are we supposed to do? Look at me. I know that, but what can we do? We are already unable to keep the promise that we will all go out together. I'm really sorry for being a woman without blood or tears. Nevertheless, I completely ignored you, looked down on you for being incompetent, and I really hate it. Well, I still hate it, but still just for a little bit, as I could. Go out with you guys. I wanted to try the ability to play with a friend I often spoke to. I've been thinking about it seriously, but in the end, one of us won't be able to do that. It's impossible. Unavoidable. She was crying. Makaru's heart fluttered in understanding. For her, the words she said before us must have shaken her heart even more. The fact that the mastermind erased their memories. In other words, they didn't know that they were the mastermind. The fact that they have believed in us all this time. The source of their existence collapsing. My source. Ah! Why us? Fine. If you really wanted us to know this truth, the rest is up to you, Akane Taira. What do you mean? I mean, I want you to tell me, who among us is the other mastermind? As long as that's true, we can't just ignore it and leave. Of course I know who they are, but I can't say it with my own mouth. Why? They have lost their memory now. In order for that person to return to their original self from who they are, they need to realize their own identity. That's why I deliberately left clues and hints to you all, and induced the truth to bloom on its own. But it seems that it was not enough to see that they did not recover their memories, even after coming all the way here. What? Then after Kurikawa was executed, even after our murder class was over, they said they would keep us alive and open a trial to uncover the truth. Everything was done in order to meet them again. To see them again. They can do anything. Yeah, if only I could bring them back. Because they can overcome any kind of despair. What? It's nothing. Now, as expected, even though they haven't gotten their memories yet, they're probably feeling a certain sign as they find out the truth. So everyone, please start one more final last discussion. Reveal their identity. Please return them to me. Yuki, are you okay? It's so shocking that even you could vomit. Hey, you've been feeling sick throughout the whole trial now. Maeda, you... No, it's okay. Let's continue. We can't stop now. Whatever truth comes out, If we think about it based on what we've said so far, the mastermind is in a state where they don't know who they are. This means even that if you guys are in your usual state without being suspicious at all, no matter who you are, there is nothing strange. Still, there's no way to find out who the real mastermind is. There is no physical evidence. If only we had any clues. A little more, just a little more. It's almost here. Now I can see them soon. So I will give you one last piece of advice. Your origin. Think about who you are. That is how the situation will come to an end. Origin. Origin. Through my origin, my true identity. I am Yuki Maeda. My origin is the one that brings to mind my true identity. I am Yuki Maeda, I need to find the... Huh? Anyway, there is a mastermind among us. And we have to uncover them. We have no choice but to do it. I don't know what that origin is, but I have my own alibi, right? Akane Taira attacked me. If I was the mastermind, she wouldn't have to. Yeah, there's evidence that Kenjo is definitely not them. I am the successor of Otori Mart, and I have been selling everywhere ever since I was young, so I think my existence will probably be proven by others. I don't know if you'd believe me because I don't know if I'm the mastermind, but I've never done anything that would put the world in despair. If I could prove it this way, there would be records of me being invited as an external lecturer at various schools. I have no such interest in despair. Ow! Ugh! Gah! Huh. Yuki, calm down. What is wrong with you? It's fine. Hey, listen, about me. I am the ultimate lucky student. Before I entered Hope's Peak Academy, I was an ordinary student. Ugh! Maeda, what's wrong? Even if this condition is strange, isn't it too severe? Maeda, surely you're not. Why are you guys looking at Yuki like that? It's just that his body is sick, because since the start, Yuki continued to be unwell after the trial started, right? From the beginning of the trial, you say. What is this music? Akane Taira gave us a chance to find out the truth, to bring back the memories of another mastermind, to realize our true identities in turn one by one. And according to that hypothesis, she even said that they were already feeling signs of it. What does that mean? You guys, come on, you don't mean... Maeda's symptoms are very unnatural. Hey, Yuki Maeda, answer me. Who are you? What are you talking about? I'm Yuki. Yuki Maeda. There's nothing special about me. I don't know what to say. In ordinary elementary school, I went to an ordinary middle school. In my first motive video, my mother appeared. I am a high school student with a very ordinary family. Yuki Maeda. Ugh. My head. It's splitting. What is this headache? I can't open my eyes. It feels like I'm going to die. Someone save me. Damn it! You look distressed, Maeda-sama. If you can still hear, I'll ask you a few questions. You said earlier that you came from a normal elementary school and a middle school earlier, right? Where did you go on elementary school and middle school? What? What do you mean? You may not remember what the school looked like after a long time, but everyone knows the name of the school they went to, right? So where are you from? That's simple. Eh? Besides that, you say you saw your mother? Do you remember your mother's name? What? Yuki. Why? The name of the school I went to. Mom's name too. I can't remember. What? What is this? I can do this. I know for sure. Why? Maeda-sama, the school you went to, even your parents are unknown to you. You are. Who are you? What? Ah! What? What?